Salbana Kings and Queens, as always, I thank you for tuning in to my morning thoughts. Everything is a part of the Reclaim Your Royalty. And today I'm going to be talking about the connection between individual rich blacks and a poor majority. Now, as we're dealing with this, I defined racism for you before from Powernomics, Dr. Claude Anderson, and he defined racism as when one race has a disproportionate amount of wealth, land, resources, and use that to keep another race subordinate to them and to drive them out and keep them from ever being competitive. That's the number one key when it comes to racism, is to making sure another group of people will never be your competitor, that they will always be your consumer, that you can always make money off of them and they won't make money off of you. It won't be an even playing field. It's no barter. It's no I sell to you, you sell to me. It's all you buy what I have. I drain money out of your neighborhoods. I drain money from your people, and you will never be able to compete with me. So yesterday, had a discussion on Twitter back and forth with quite a few people as a result of the LeBron James deal with Nike. And in this deal, LeBron James, they didn't disclose how much he got paid, but he got a lifetime deal with Nike. So the rest of his life, he is a spokesperson for Nike. Now, first made me think, why would Nike want to sign him for a lifetime deal? I mean, LeBron has been in the NBA since like 2004. He doesn't have that many years left in the NBA before he started looking like Kobe Bryant. You know, he only got a good maybe 4, 5, 6 years, and that's a stretch at an elite level. So why in the world would I want to give a NBA player who's on his way out the door a lifetime deal? What sense does that make to me to give a player who's not going to be in the NBA no more a deal? Now I'm going to give you the answer here. You see, what's going on is LeBron is creating a very large brand. He's a very smart man, connected to a lot of other smart people, and he's creating a brand that will outlive his NBA career. So they see that and understand if LeBron ever gets in his mindset to start his own sneakers, he will become our competitor. And if he becomes our competitor, then we lose the stronghold that we have over the entire black race, because now we have a competitive sneaker company owned by a black man that's potentially making billions like we are, who can then have black CEOs, black CFOs, black COOs, and all different kind of high-level executives. And now the possibility of Nike going out of business because they know black people are one of their biggest consumers. So if we stop buying Nikes and LeBron has his own sneakers, we'll start buying from them and they will lose the power in the sneaker game. And everything is about keeping us non-competitive. So if they can grab one black person, make sure they're rich, they can keep the whole down. And during my discussion with people on Twitter, they really, wasn't trying to get what I was saying. People kept saying, well, he's going to be getting like $500 million for this contract, and should he turn down this money for some maybe money? Well, the thing is, LeBron he's already rich. Now, what most of us just do not get is we have a social responsibility to our people. It's not about just you. It's about your people. Yes, he's rich, but he has an obligation. When he gets a deal from Nike, what other black people get helped? Now, this is not a knock against him. This is not me trying to bring him down or anything like that. This is for us to understand what they are systemically doing, what their plan is, what their agenda is, and how we're falling prey to it and not really realizing what's going on. They dangle the money and we just jump on the money and don't realize they want us to take the money in order to keep the other black people down, because Nike knows they're not going to hire but so many black executives. It's not going to be but so many black people that are in the high ranks of Nike making millions of dollars. It's not going to be that many black people in any of these white corporations. And as long as we don't have a competitive corporation, they can collectively keep us down. Whereas if LeBron would have started his own sneaker company, and like I said, had black CEOs, CFOs, COO, controllers, and everything down the line, that would be a whole lot of black families benefiting off of that business, because that business is now competitive with the white business. And we talked about before the social integration and the vertical integration, whereas when we vertically integrate, we're competitive with other races as opposed to being competitive with one another, and that is what they do not want us to attain. So now, where is the connection between the rich black person and the poor majority? Exactly what I just explained. If I can make one black person rich who has the potential of starting something and being competitive with me, and when he makes something competitive with me, that can make maybe 10 more black people rich, I will dangle the money to that one black person so he won't get the other 10 rich. See that? If I can get one black person to work for me and be rich, and he has the potential of competing against me and making 10 other black people rich, I'll make him rich and keep those 10 down. And what we don't realize as blacks is what we're doing when we take the money. You know, there has to be a reason why somebody would offer you a lifetime deal. There has to be a reason why somebody will offer you a lifetime deal. And it's not just because they think you're a good spokesperson. No, it's because they know you have the potential to compete with them. And if I can give you money and have you under me for the rest of your life, you can never compete with me if you're under me for the rest of your life. So again, this is not a knock on LeBron James, but this is for us to identify what's really being done to us in every arena, the way they're putting this thing together and the way they're attacking us holistically, and we're going about this thing individually. You can't work your way to competition with them. Yes, it might be a little less money in the beginning if you start your own, but it's about legacy. It's about generation after generation. Black people, we got to get out of this individual mindset. We got to get out of this mindset of just take care of me and my children. Well, what about your children's children? What about your children's children's children? You know, what about the people that go down the line that come from your loins? Paris Hilton is rich because of, I don't even know how far up it goes, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, I don't know. But that money is just being passed down and passed down. And for most blacks, we don't get anything passed down but some kind of debt. We're trying to raise money to bury our parents. So we got to begin to think about how our actions are going to not only affect our children, but future generations of our family and future generations of our race. And we have to identify when a company is singling out one person, making sure his life is comfortable, and what is their reason behind it. And I'm telling you today, the reason behind it is to keep the majority poor. They have no problem with getting one black person rich. They have no problem with putting in a black president to pacify the rest of us, to give us this illusion that everything is all in well, that everything is even, when that's not the case at all. The case is they do certain things to make us feel like we've made it, when in all actuality, a couple of us have made it. And as a race, we are still at the bottom. So black people, don't sell out. Don't take the money. I don't care what they're offering. I know there was a young black guy who created some kind of razor that doesn't give you bumps, and they offered him a bunch of money, and I praised God because he said, I'm not selling my product. Do not sell out, black people, because when they offer you the money, what they're trying to do is give you the money. That way the majority of your people, the people that are just like you, are still poor. It's not because they accept you. It's not because they love you. It's not because they think you're great for their product. It's because they know that you are potentially competition. And if I can hire you, you will never be my competition. And if you will never be my competition, then you will never help any black people be the competition to white people. So that right there is the connection between individual black riches and a poor majority. Sal Bana.